Hey up everyone, I'm Sue Circuit and welcome back to House Flipper. Today is episode 32, the final episode of the base game. So I guess guys get very familiar, well that's not what I want to say, I guess guys get prepared to say goodbye to this lovely game series that we've been doing, and shall we get on to our final property? Okay, let's go do the property description. It feels, I'm not ready to say goodbye. So, for context, to me, this is the last episode I will be recording ever. For you guys, for House Flipper, I mean, for you guys, you've still got like another couple of DLC properties to go. So, I'm just getting ready to say goodbye to like my base. Because after today, I won't be seeing it again. And I can't believe it. I had to say goodbye to my office. I have to say goodbye to Shelly, wherever he is. He's out there somewhere. But yeah, let's do this property before I get all emotional. So today our last base game property is the Historical Museum. Oh, it's not quite as long as the castle description. So without further ado, let's do the property description. Okay, so it's a historical museum. It's opening its doors again, but this time not for visitors. Spacious halls. Spacious halls full of exhibits from various periods are waiting to be discovered. Who knows what hidden treasures you will find. The exhibits here are impressive, but it's hard to really appreciate the history when everything is dirty and covered in cobwebs. The museum was abandoned for longer than it seemed at first glance. So that is the property description. Let's have a look. There's a whole ass T-Rex. Okay, I'm excited. There's a whole T-Rex, everyone. This is definitely night in the museum material right now. Oh, I can't wait to go do the before tour. To be honest, I kind of don't want to do anything afterwards either. I might just literally like renovate just a little section so that I can sell it as a home. Because I'm not selling my office, or I do have to sell the museum. It sucks, but it is what it is. I want to keep my little office that I've got right now. I like it a lot. And the good thing is that if I change my mind later on, after you've done all the properties in the game, you get the option to buy any of them again, and you can do them all over again. Well, we won't be doing that on the channel, but if I ever want to go back to this museum, I can do. Hurry up and load. I'll be back once it's loaded. Okay, and here we are for the final time in the base game. We are at a property. Honestly, as I say, considering it's a museum, I probably won't do too much to the interior apart from tidy it up and like add a little section for living in it so I can sell it. And obviously cleaning up the lawn and stuff. This is base game, so obviously, as always, I won't be doing loads to the garden, but I will be doing the inside. Let's have a look at the outside then. Let's get on with the before tour. Seems like we got lots of windows in here cleaning. These will definitely get cleaned. And I'll probably change this to like a brick. I'm not sure yet. I'll make up my mind later. Laying bricks down is a bit of a ball ache. And these windows do need replacing from the looks of them. They're looking a bit, aged, so I will get on with that. And I don't like the fact that they're a different colour to the rest. I'm gonna have to fix that. That's gonna annoy the heck out of me. But generally, I'm not gonna do anything to the original structure. I am just gonna leave it as is, like in terms of like how it's laid out and stuff. Apart from like one little section, as I say, for living in. Although for a museum, it really needs a grander entryway. And if this was a garden property, I would 100% do that. But it already takes me so long to do. Oh dear, lots of things need changing. Okay, this needs sorting out. This needs to be fancier. I'm not gonna lie, it's a museum and all I've got is a load of bookcases, a rack that's on the floor. You know, I do like this little Trojan helmet though. Okay, so, and here's just a load of cubbies. And okay, this needs fixing. This needs sorting out a lot. Oh dear, are these light switches? For these, oh my god, there's so much in here that needs changing. Oh wait, okay, I can fix a dinosaur. This is important. I was like, I don't want to get rid of the dinosaur. I want to fix it. But yeah, I'll keep all the art and stuff. But this needs sorting out. Like, jeez Louise. Oh my god. Okay, alright. So we've got loads of tigers. Do these actually say anything? Am I blind? From a scientific point of view, the past was very different from today. The animals were usually much larger. The mammoth, for example, reached the something of up to, oh, is that the size? There, is that size? Of up to 1.5 elephants. Okay, so basically things were bigger in the past, reaching 1.5 elephants living in Africa today. They had thick fur to prevent their bodies from cooling down. The text is not very clear, but they were not the only ones. Even further back in time, the dinosaurs... something lizards were the largest creatures ever to live on the earth. That is hard to read. That is so blurry. Like, I had to sit so close to my screen to read that. And that should go here, because that's about the mammoth, right? I'm not going to be able to read that, because I can't get close enough. Creatures of the past. Is that not the same thing as over here? But it's like not got I can't move. Yeah, it's the same thing. I guess like maybe. Oh no! Don't do that. Don't fix anything. I can't move. I'm like Loki stuck. I'm trying to work my way around. This is gonna be kind of hard to do a before tour. Yeah, I can't read all of that. It's driving me crazy. When things aren't all over the place, I will read them, I think. Okay, so we've got one way, this way. Oh my god, okay, this is like the Egypt room. But anyone who had an Egypt obsession, this is your room. This is cool. I like this. I like this wallpaper. This is awesome. And we've got a random bed in the corner, because why not? Okay, Egypt. I'm stuck again. I can't get up the stairs. Why am I stuck? Help! Help! I'm stuck. Let me out, please. Okay. Oh my god. What a museum that you literally get stuck and you can't leave. I've got a door here that I won't be able to go through because of the rubbish, so you're going to have to forgive me this one bit. So I can get in. This is not an exit, so this is no entry, I guess. This is an office that looks gross. Not too bad though, and all things. Why is there a random face staring at you? Is that not creepy? Like, that's creepy. That is so creepy. Why would you have a random face staring at you in your office? That is terrifying. And then we got a bathroom here. I guess this is like a staff bathroom. This is for the gents, and the ladies is off limits. Okay. Got itchy nose. Oh my god, a lot needs fixing here. A lot needs fixing. Again, we got creatures of the past. Do they all say the same thing? From a scientific point of view, yeah, these all say the same thing, apart from like that one down there that had a T-Rex on, I assume. Yeah, that's all about elephants. So yeah, they are all about elephants. It would be nice if each exhibit had its own little thing, but I guess not. Also, red and green. Jeez, that clashes a bit too much. Creatures of the past. And this is like oldie time. You got Medusa. I recognise Medusa. That's cool. You get like some different art, because I don't think that's actually in the game. We need to replace this piano though. It needs replacing. It looks a bit old and worn. The table looks okay though, I think. Yeah, and this rug needs fixing. It's got little spotches all over. I don't know whether that's because it's dirty or whether it just needs replacing, but I guess we can do that. I might have to replace like all the ropes and stuff as well, but I'll do my best to keep what I can. We got some mirrors and dogs and a big clock. Can I walk, please? Creatures of the past, same thing. Okay, okie dokie. We've got a big grand table in here. Okie dokie. Now, I can't tell with the wood. I keep pressing right stick to crouch. If that's worn or if it's just the wood swatch they've gone for. But I'll leave it as it is. You know, history and all that. A nice cool bit. That's a bit gruesome. Oh, yeah, these arts are definitely not in the game. That's also gruesome. Des playing the sad violin. That's a bit sad. Apart from that one on the end, that one's in the game. One way. Yeah, okay. Is that the whole museum? Oh no, there's sign that says stop for some reason. Stop? Oh, because it's broken. Okay, I might make these the public toilets then. Oh, this is like a little office room. Yeah, I'll make these like public toilets in here. Yeah, this is like a little office room. It's supposed to be like a castle, I guess. That's nice. We've just done a castle. We've just done an entire castle and turned it into an Airbnb, so... Yeah, they got books. Have they got anything in the cupboard? No. Good to know. Okay, that is the before tour, I guess, then. We've got to fix the dinosaur. That's the most important thing. And this needs a whole lot of reworking on, like, the windows and stuff, because they're all gross and disgusting, and I don't think I can even clean these. I don't know if I can clean these ones over here. I hope I can, because I don't want to replace every single window. Oh, no, it's not giving me a prompt. So I had to see. I had to have a look. Alright, I'm going to go downstairs. I think that's the whole building. Or at least I hope that's the whole building. Because I don't want to miss anything. And I'm just saying it now, because we're all thinking it. You. Statues. You better not start moving when I look away. Okay, I think we're good. We're good. The statues are good. There's no weeping angels in this museum. We had to double check. You always have to check them things. Okay, that is the before tour. We're going to do our best to fix up this entire place. It clearly needs a lot of work and a lot of fixing. So without further ado, let's get renovating. Okay, and here we are. So for the final time, it is nighttime. I didn't sleep until daytime, so we get to enjoy this place at nighttime. Actually, I'm gonna make it daytime. Give me 1 second. I want to make it daytime, just because I hate it being so late at night. Let's find a bed. This one will do. We'll just stick it in the lawn and we'll delete it. There we go. Sleep until next morning. Cool. As I was going to say, it's finally time to do the total time. So let's do the total time before we do the final reveal. So I'm going to put house to auction. So the total time for this property was 5 hours, 39 minutes and 21 seconds, which is nowhere near as long as I thought this museum would take me. So I think that's a fairly good time, all things considered. It's got 21 rooms and it's absolutely huge. So yeah, 5 hours, 39 minutes and 21 seconds. That is ridiculously quick for me. Okay, let's do the after tour. Okay, are we ready for the final base game property after tour? So as you can see, the outside pretty much looks near enough the same, apart from I have fixed all the windows so they're all nice, and I changed them so it wasn't too much of this pattern, so the middle kind of gives a bit of a break for the eye. And then as you go around the building, you can see all of them are fixed, and I've added in some extra little windows as well, and also some extra stuff up here and here. And then I've got all of these windows around here, and I've refitted in all of the big windows and make them black so they blend in with the rest of them rather than a random shade of orange. And I can't remember what's on this side of the building, but this side of the building still has no windows, and we have this too here. So all of them have been refurbished. So let's go inside, shall we? As you can see, the front desk area has been completely fixed. I added in new windows and put in new curtains everywhere. I've also added in some nice paintings over by the door, and like these are supposed to be like brochures and stuff that they didn't have, and some cool art and some vases. And then this is like a little coffee area. Just imagine that these are like disposable cups and stuff, so they can go straight in the bin in case people want a coffee before they go in. And then we got a nice little reception area with a desk and a phone and stuff for people booking, and this is obviously to sign in for your tickets and stuff. And they have actually got computers down here. And then over in this corner they've got a mini fridge for like their lunches or whatever else, or if they got a cold drink they want to keep cool, and a printer to print anything else off like information flyers. And I am stuck. I haven't been stuck this entire time, but sometimes this game I get stuck and I can't move anymore. And then I've also added in a new rug, and I've done a new flooring, and I added in some bins for all the rubbish. I did keep the Trojan helmet though. I kept the Trojan helmet, that's important. So I tried to keep as much as the original artifacts that they were, but I've just kind of tried to add to it rather than take away. So I've added in some little sitting areas that you can sit in and enjoy the art and stuff from. I changed the flooring and made it slightly brighter in here. I've added in these little ropes around these boxes. I presume they are supposed to be things that are to be unpacked, so I've just neatened them up. I added in a few radiators and a few more plants, and I have a few more things to like the art areas, like these little panel things, but I kept the originals, as I say, as much as I could. And I just changed the roping as well to make it look less rusty and old. And I fixed the dinosaur, just as so we all know, I fixed the dinosaur, and I fixed the mammoth, so it's all fixed, it's all sorted. And I took away the ropes from here, as I used the flooring to separate it instead, because I feel like there was just too many ropes going on all over the place, and I just wanted a little bit of a break, like visually. And I kept the lights and stuff, and I swapped out the red paint for a white and blue to make it feel brighter and, you know, more modern feeling, so that it's brought into the future. I also changed all the door frames, and by that I kept them the same colour. I just repaired them, so I just replaced them with like new ones. In here we have the Greek room, or like the Roman room, I guess. I added in a curtain and a new window, and I fixed some brickwork up here as well. I added in a bin just to make sure everyone had stuff, replaced all the ropes, and all I did was add some more plants in, and I painted the what the heck? Oh, another bag. Okay, I don't know why they're kind of glitching out a little. I don't think I've ever seen that, but they're glitching out a tiny bit. But yeah, basically you can see there's supposed to be columns on this wall, but they keep glitching in and out of existence for some strange reason. But yeah, I painted behind statues that were golden to kind of make them stand out a little more, and I added in these pictures. Don't ask me why, they got nothing to do with Romans or Greeks, but there was just two little things here, like dust outlines, so I just filled them up. And then I kept this down here. The Egypt room I kept pretty much the same. I just cleaned it up, and I added in a bin, and I fixed the chair because it was annoying me that it was all cockeyed. But yeah, I kept this pretty much the same because I felt this room was like super cool, and there wasn't really much I could add to it. So I just left it as that. Hopefully, like this entire time, by the way, I've been doing this room. Those columns have never just decided to disappear, so I don't know what's going on with that. And then yeah, that is the main area downstairs. I also added in these pictures as well. to kind of brighten up this little wall space, and as you can see there's a few more plants added in just to make it feel more cozy. I changed the steps to a nice wooden colour, and also changed the railings to be slightly brighter with like a golden and silver hue, just because there's a lot of gold downstairs, so I wanted it to kind of flow upwards as well. I kept all the original art but just got rid of the railings because again, they're pictures on the wall, they don't need railings, people know not to touch them, so this is relying on like personal trust basically to be like don't go touching the pictures, which makes sense, you don't want people touching the pictures. I added in these vases here, and I replaced the plants up here with some nice white pots because I felt like the brown was just too dark, especially with all the red, and I added in some nice blue curtains to kind of keep the blue theme going on, as I have got a lot of white up here. And then in this section I've added to it as best as I can. I decided to keep the original piano because I love the way it kind of looks a bit worn and torn. I just changed the carpet because the carpet looked dirty and I couldn't fix it, so I just added 2 little ones in instead. And I've added in some nice curtains over here so that they can have, you know, I feel like if you're rich you would have patterned red curtains, wouldn't you, like if it was ye olde days. It is a little laggy in here, so I do apologise, my PlayStation is struggling a little with this building. I added in a few plants. I also fixed the tea set because I felt the tea set felt a bit too modern, so I've used the stuff that's like vampire themed to make it look like proper china, because they had cups on a wooden table without a saucer underneath them, and that is just naughty. You need something like a coaster at least. And then I added in this little stonage down here, just they weren't burning the floor. I also changed the floor in here as well, and I added in some vases again and some plants, because if you're rich you're going to have fancy plants everywhere, but generally I try to stick to the general theme of like, you know, ye olde times. And then over here all I did was change the table because it was annoying me that it was on a tiny table. Like, what was the purpose of that table? Again, added in a new window and curtains, and obviously I got all new railings up here. This is all the same, apart from I added in some nice plants just to add some greenery to the area. And yeah, that's this section done. And then we come into here, we have got the main dining room. So not much is different in here, I just changed the floor. And my reasoning is that I have been in a few old castles, and every time I've been in them, after a certain age, they all have like dark flooring, and there was no dark flooring, so I felt like the castle needed dark flooring because that's like on theme. Obviously I've tidied up behind each of these paintings. Some of these are unique and you can't find them anywhere else in the game. And then I added this painting in because there was like a dusting here and a dusting there, so I just added a painting in above the mantle place that kind of blends in with the theme, and added some more plants in. And I changed the fireplace because again it was a tiny fire which would not have been big enough to heat a room of this size, so to try and give it a bit more accuracy I went with a bigger fire but kept it in the white shade like the previous. And I also, you know, just tidied up in general. So I kept all the crockery because I do not have the patience to go setting this table, in all honesty, so I kept all of it and just cleaned it all up. Oh my god, need to breathe. Okay, let me take you into here. So this has a little rope over it with no entry. This is supposed to be for staff, so we are technically staff, so I'm gonna go and I can hear stuff going past my window. I'm just being quiet, so I'm gonna go in. So this is like the staff quarters. So like if you've got like a night watcher or whatever, they have somewhere they can chill out, or basically like the museum like caretakers quarters. So they got a little entryway here with a mirror and stuff to take care of themselves, and then you come in here and you've got yourself a little living room. I kept the original desk but obviously changed its colours because I felt like that was really cute. I added a little bookcase, they got a TV, they got fishies which you can turn off and on, the lights I mean. And then they got a nice little bed, and again I kept the original wardrobe but I just changed the colouring. And I've gone for these little lights because downstairs they've used a similar kind, so I thought these would kind of blend in a bit. So yeah, this is the main bedroom that they can sleep in. So they got a decent sized bed, they got a little area to sit down and chill out, and they can watch some TV, and they got a tablet here to do any work, and a phone in case anyone needs them, and like office supplies. So yeah, that's this room. And I kept the original brick on 2 of the walls, so it kind of feels like it's still arcing back to the original. It's really throwing me off whenever I turn around and I end up facing a completely different way to what I expect because of the lag. And so in here we've got like a little washroom. Originally I was going to make this a little cloakroom, but then I realised I had enough space here to do it for the staff. So I made this like a little washroom so they could do the washing and dry their clothing. Can we stop? I'm just trying to look around. And then I added in this window to let some natural light in as well. Yeah, it was really struggling in this room, I've realised. I also added a plant in to make it feel a bit more homely. And lots of rugs. Rugs are very important. And then we come into here and we've got the main kitchen. So I kept this fridge, and you want to know why? Because it has a little dinosaur on it. It has a little dinosaur and it has a teapot. So I've kept it because it was super cute. And so yeah, I've got a few bits and pieces all around just to try and make it feel a bit more lived in. And they've got like a proper dining table. And again, they've got everything they could need. So they've got a dishwasher, they've got an oven and a hob, and you know, a huge sink for doing any other spare dishes, and lots of storage for a kitchen this size actually. And some fresh herbs and stuff, a bread bin, all sorts. And I added in a new window up here so that they could have fresh air and light in here as well, because this had nothing on it to begin with. And then last but not least, upstairs we've got this bathroom. Now I did try adding a window in here, but the short windows come down to actually about here, which meant that the shower looks a bit funky. So if I had the option to, I would add a window up here just for ventilation, but obviously I didn't. So they've got a bath and shower here. There is a little screen there that you can see, and then behind me they've got the sink and the toilet. Admittedly a fairly small bathroom, but you can't really grumble, you've got everything you need in there. So that is the staff like living quarters. Or if you really wanted to, you could rent that out as like a little Airbnb, so people who want to experience like night in the museum vibes and just stay in the museum overnight. But that was mainly for staff, that area is. And then also I fixed these so that they would match the floor on this level. Okay, alright. I know I haven't been in there, I'm about to go now. This is the last section now, I think, of the entire museum. So we come in here and this is just a little entryway. We've got little signposts out here pointing in. I've added in some more places to throw away rubbish because there's always loads of rubbish. And then in here we've got the ladies' bathroom. So they look pretty much the same, both bathrooms, but I put them on the ground floor so that everybody could access them rather than them being on the top. So we've got 2 sinks, a nice mirror, a bin. In each toilet we've got a little bin, a toilet roll holder, and obviously a light. For some reason I couldn't, did I use white last? I did, yes. Amy. I couldn't add a window in both of them, only one. So this one doesn't have a window, but oh well. And as to say, they're both exactly the same on the inside. And then I've got a radiator for warmth and a little painting, you know, to cheer the bathroom up a tiny bit. And then in here is the men's. It's exactly the same layout, same overall. As I say, one's got a window, one doesn't. And yeah, they've each got a toilet in there, 2 sinks and a radiator and a pitcher just to make it more cheery. So that is the 2 bathrooms. So overall there's 4 toilets for people to use, which isn't a lot, but you can only do with what you can, what space you have. And okay, so this was originally an office, but I have never been to a museum that didn't have a gift shop at some point. So I tried to turn this into a gift shop. So these are like all going to be books about like stuff in the museum. These are like little things of like the little candelabras on top of the fireplace upstairs, and this little mouse is in the museum. You'll have to watch the footage to see if you can find him. I've got little globes, little statues, little candles, and all sorts of pieces that harken back. I got a little easel because there's a lot of art, and then these are like smaller copies of the art that is already in the museum. And then I got little candles that are also in the museum. So I want to see if you guys can flag when you spot them. And then I added in some toys for the kiddies because they like toys and stuff. So I added in some cuddly toys and like other stuff. So I tried to like fit it in as much as I could to like the stuff that's actually in the museum. And then here I don't have a till, but this is like would be where the staff would stand for the till. And then behind here they've got a little rope thing so they could block it off during the day so customers don't come in. So this section, as this is like a staff only section to like give them their stuff. And obviously they've got a nice window and a little bin for any rubbish that they might collect. And last but not least, they have their own toilet so they don't have to share with the public ones. So Behind here, they got the little loo roll, the toilet, the sink, and a bin, and a towel, and a mirror and stuff, and 2 windows. So you could swap rotten for windows in here. But yeah, they got a little staff toilet. So that is the museum. I know it seems like, oh, you spent 5 hours on this building just to get the tour over in a few minutes. I know, I'm efficient. But yeah, I feel like this looks a lot more lively and looks a lot more welcoming, especially with the little sitting areas that you can use to sit down and like kind of enjoy the views all around. I feel like that makes it feel a lot more homely, and I feel like using the brighter colours definitely made it like more of a comfortable space to be in. So you guys let me know, would you now visit this museum? I hope you would. Let me know in the comments. Okay, I guess it is time to sell the last property. But before we sell the last property, we've got to do it for the final time. We've got to do a retail property description. We're going to put this museum up on the market. Although I guess we're not really selling it to a person. We're selling it to the general public. So yeah, or an investor. So let's do a retail. Let's do the retail property description. I might have done 32 episodes, but I certainly haven't figured out how to talk yet. Okay, are we ready? Because this would be my final retail property description. So if I were to put this back up on the market in its current state, this is how I would sell it, per se. Although I don't feel like I should be selling this building. I feel like it should be a public building for everyone. So here we go. With that in mind, this is my property description. Though they once said that this museum was no longer open to the public, this has now changed. So come and enjoy this newly refurbished museum. Just because it has been given the most vibrant update doesn't mean any of its history has been discarded. As a matter of fact, all of its previous exhibits have been lovingly restored and added to. So come and revel in this museum's grand displays. This building has also got all the necessary facilities for both public and staff accommodation, making it perfect for investors who want a business that is ready to go from the get-go. So that would be my property description. I know, it's quite short actually. For a building this size, you'd think it would have a massively long description, but I feel like this would make it seem like a really welcoming building to be into. So that is my property description. So let's actually see how well my marketing works and how much of a profit we make while selling it. Okay, let's put this place to auction. Obviously, we're not going to do a garden competition because it's not a garden, it's space game. So let's put it on to auction. I am really curious to see what complaints they're going to have, considering this isn't actually a home. That's part of the reason why I did the staff quarters upstairs, so that they would technically have, like, sections of a home. So they got a bathroom, a living room, you know, a kitchen and stuff, so to try and like smooth it over a little bit. Okay, we're not making much profit currently as it stands. £72,000 we are going to make. I want to see, what are your complaints, Jantart family? First and foremost, the positives. This house is very clean. You certainly notice that we love plants, so you put so many of them in this house. The whole house is clean, very nice. In this house there is enough space to put all our books. There is a kitchen, so cooking for the grandchildren will be possible. See, they like my tiny kitchen. And then the negatives, there are too many rooms and 2 bathrooms are too much. But I think actually in total, if you count each individual toilet as a bathroom, there are actually technically 6 in this building. So they certainly aren't going to be running out of space for their grandkids to like go to the loo. And there aren't going to be any arguments about who gets to use the loo. However, there might be a few arguments about who gets to use the shower. But yeah, not too bad actually, only 2 negatives. So I mean, it warms my heart to think that the two grandparents are going to have a museum. You know, I just feel like it's such a grandparent move. I was really curious to see that she was on the top for quite a while, Veronica Lipton. She was on the top, but she hates stuff for children, which obviously I put in the gift store. So yeah, let's negotiate. So for me, this will be the last time I'm negotiating. For you guys, you've still got a couple of more episodes. So I'm going to try and ask for like more than double the current like profit. So let's try this. I doubt they're gonna give it to me, but for the last time ever, let's find out. Yep, we're sorry, but we can't afford to pay anymore. So there you go then. For absolute confirmation, for every single episode, including the DLCs, I have asked well, I say every single episode, I might have missed one here or two, but every single time I've asked for the full negotiation price, and for 32 base game episodes plus an additional 5 DLC episodes, so 37 episodes overall, not a single time have they said yes. So I have proven that the top end of this scale is a complete waste of time and mechanic. So House Flipper Devs, I don't think they're gonna care because it's an old game now, they're working on House Flipper 2, but just so you know, don't make the bar go higher than what they are reasonably likely to say yes to, because I have got all the perks and they have said no 37 times. But yeah, let's sell for a £72,000 profit. That isn't bad. Let's accept the offer. Okay, and while we're waiting for it to load, I'm just going to double check that I've definitely clicked the button. I guess it's time to move on to my final thoughts. As I've said, like, for this property itself, I very much enjoyed doing it, and I very much enjoyed trying to keep the exhibits intact, but also trying to figure out how I could add to it and make it feel more like cozy and more modern and more bright without taking away from like the actual exhibits themselves. So I think I've done a fairly good job of that. You'll have to let me know in the comments what you think, and I'm really proud of my gift shop because I was like, this is a museum, it needs a gift shop. It needs a proper entryway and it needs a gift shop, and it is amazing what rugs can do, because I feel like with those little sitting areas, the rugs certainly pull them together, and it is amazing what like using different flooring tiles to like separate spaces out can do as well. So I was able to get rid of a lot of like ropes, because I felt like there was just too many, it was just cluttering too many things. And I think as well with the staff quarters, it really is reminding me of like night in the museum, and I'm just thinking of a night watchman being in them quarters and coming out and like looking at stuff and being like, oh my god, what's changed? But you know what the most fun thing it was for me in this entire renovation? I got to fix a T-Rex statue. I got to fix a T-Rex. That is what made me really, really happy. But yeah, in general, I can't believe it. We're officially at the end of the base game properties, 32 episodes down. Oh my god, I can't believe some of you are still here watching this. Like, I have enjoyed playing this game, and I'm also kind of sad to be putting it down, because this is the game that I would come home and play after work when I was working, and I just, you know, I could switch my brain off, there's no complicated mechanics, and sometimes some really goofy things would happen, like I would somehow glitch through the floor and plummet into the abyss just by trying to go downstairs. But I've tried, I think, overall to have a lot of variation with my build. I know not everyone's going to build the same way I do, so you guys will have to let me know what what stylistic differences would you make, and overall, would you hire me as a house flipper? I feel like we've done a really good job with this series. So this is the official last episode for me. As I keep saying, for you guys, you've still got another 5 DLC episodes, so I'm going to say goodbye now for the base game, and like just a general goodbye to the series. But you guys will be hearing from me for a little bit while longer. So where are you, Shelley? Shelley, I've got to say goodbye. Shelley. Oh, he's not going to be in the boat, is he? But actually, I know why I came in here, because I was going to go down and see if I could spot him from the windows. Shelley! But yeah, no matter. Oh well. Goodbye, Shelley. It was nice knowing you. So yeah, as I say, guys, this is my final goodbye. Thank you very much for watching, all of you. If you have enjoyed, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and also check out my other videos. I do lots of other stuff, not just House Flipper, lots of other bits and pieces. If you're not sure what you might like from my content, I recommend watching the Random Wednesday playlist, because I play all sorts of little games as like little one-offs. So if you're not sure and you think, oh, that might be something I can use to like get a little taste for what other stuff I do, but also sometimes I take the Random Wednesday series and I turn them into Let's Plays, so you might get lucky and find that maybe one of your Random Wednesday episodes has become a series. But yeah, I have very much enjoyed doing House Flipper. Thank you all for coming along with me. I hope you've all enjoyed this rather long but wonderful series. If you have enjoyed, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I have to ask, it is mandatory, otherwise I'm never going to be allowed out of my house flipping cave. So yeah, with that being said, okay, I'm gonna leave that one in. Mr. Motorbike Man was there for the final time. He is plaguing this series. He has to be known. But yeah, as I say, it's throwing me off entirely now. As I was saying, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Bye for now.